like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And it's a news video. I haven't done one of these for a little bit. I mean, after having a bit of a news deluge, right? I was swamped in news. I was smothered in news. I was bukkakied in news. Don't Google what that means. It's very bad. Very, very bad. And quite frankly, it's something that no sane person will ever want to see. Okay? There has been a lot of news. It all kind of slowed down this week, but then we did get one, I think, huge news story. I mean, absolutely huge news story, which I'm very, very, genuinely excited about. But it's been the end of the week. I think it's time to catch up. So, you know what? I never, never looked over the review of that exhibition in Liverpool, which looks freaking awesome, right? Absolutely awesome. I remember when I lived in Florida. On Sundays, we also had to find something to do with the kids, right? So we'd take them to Monkey Jungle. Monkey Jungle's really cool. It's basically you're in the cage, right? And monkeys are everywhere. They climb over. You have to give them. It's really cool. There's Monkey Jungle. There's Parrot Jungle in Florida. But we also went to science museums and what was it? They had one science museum had a traveling Star Trek exhibition. Freaking awesome, okay? Freaking awesome. Yeah, they had so much. They had transport there, they had props there. It was absolutely fantastic. And if this Liverpool exhibition, which I know nothing about, I haven't covered it at all, is half as good as that, it's brilliant. I give it. It's probably so much better than Time Fracture, which is died a death. Yeah, listen, mate. It's one thing to have a mediocre show with filled with Andram performances. But it's another thing to have a mediocre show filled with Andram performances, that's amateur dramatic performances, that base itself around a genuinely hated part of the of the franchise. Which I'm sorry if you like it. It's a genuinely hated by quite a reasonable say. Although a lot of people don't mind it. I had the guy on my channel on Sunday who's doing those unofficial annuals. I love those. The 1988 ones are out right now with the Colin Baker one. So I asked him about it. I don't want to get him in trouble, right? I never want to get anybody in trouble on my channel, but I don't mind saying the crap I say. I stand by everything I say, right? Or I say I'm wrong and I say I'm sorry. Well, it doesn't seem to be a hard way to live your life. Impossible for most, right? So, but this guy, really nice guy. I really enjoyed having him on. So I asked him, what's he think of the new era? He's like, well, I liked when it got to season 7. I thought season 12. I thought that was much better. And I just think people really want to like Doctor Who, right? And they're prepared to overlook a hell of a lot of stuff. Assholes like me aren't, right? I mean, listen, I can't unsee the things I've seen, so unfortunately I am somewhat shackled by that sense of reality. Oh, if only we're all shackled by a sense of reality. Fine! Before we get into the multiple news stories that we're about to get into, like, share, and subscribe! All those things are fan-dabby double dozy. Absolutely fan-dabby double dozy. But YouTube's really throttling my channel right now. My growth is in the toilet, right? I was doing really well, and all of a sudden I went like that. I maybe will pick up. Who knows? Honestly, I think it's all tied into the elections in November in America. I think everything revolves around those things, right? So probably, and I have noticed there's other channels. That are, listen, they're good channels that I actually watch, but they're much smaller than mine, right? They're much smaller. They get tons more views, and I'm not envious. I'm like, oh, you're obviously throttling my channel, right? So like, share, and subscribe. Definitely share. By the way, one of those channels that always has 3 or 4 times my live viewers, right? Always. It does have to be they put out a fantastic show, right? They're an absolutely fantastic show, which I even though I'm tired after I do my show, I always catch it whenever I can. But anyway, so definitely being throttled. So if you could subscribe, if you're not subscribed, that'd be great. If you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button. Subscribe to me on Rumble. Actually, you're going to get an exclusive video on Rumble. My deep dive review of Spyfall Part 1 has been blocked because of a copyright claim. What BS? Oh, shut up. Anyway, so that's going to be on Rumble. I filed a dispute, but it's Yeah, you know what? It's like me versus the ocean. The ocean's gonna win, right? It's like there's nothing you can do. There really is nothing you can do other than liking, sharing, subscribing. That really helps. Sharing it is something they really like. And comment. Let me know what you think. And sign up to my Substack in the link below. It's my email newsletter. I try and put out comic strips on there. Not as much as I do, but I try and put them out there reasonably regularly, right? Reasonably regularly. If you sign up to my paid one, June has to be the month where you get not one, not two, but 3 comics, right? I give her one exclusive comic a month. Haven't done anything for months. Well, again, I think I had COVID last week, which is like I'm just recovering from it today. Anyway, that's my little voyage into my life in hell. Fine, let's get to the first story. Doink, yes. By the way, great site. Down the tubes. It was created and edited by John Friedman, who one of the greatest editors of Doctor Who magazine. He essentially came in towards the I think in the McCoy years, right? And he was the only one who could do anything with that awful McCoy logo, and it really is awful. I'm sorry. He put he was a graphic designer, so he knew what he was doing, but he really upped the quality of the content in the magazine. Boy, if you should take over now, that'd be great. You know what, Doctor Who magazine, I'd love them to do, right? I'd absolutely adore them to actually have open debates in the pages about between this fractured fandom. I don't think fandom's going to be fractured for much longer. By the way, I think fandom is coming together. By the time of the 60th anniversary, and you know why it's going to come together? It's because I think it's going to be good. I think the Doctor Who they're putting on screen is going to be very, very good. When you have Doctor Who they put on screen which is very, very bad and unpopular, that's when fandom starts to fracture. This bloke on, right? He really wanted to be positive about Doctor Who. I didn't want to press him on why? Why do you like it? I don't. If you like it, mate. But it's. I think if you have, generally speaking, successful and entertaining Doctor Who, fandom melds together. Plus, I think the world is going to really fundamentally shift in the next year, right? Which I'm hoping I'm right about that one. I mean, honestly, when you look around the world, you see war and economic disaster and just all the taking kids to strip clubs. When did that become okay? That's just weird, right? When you're taking a bunch of school kids to a strip club, right, so they can see drag queens, I mean, which are apparently women with penises, that's okay. I mean, no! How did that become okay, right? So I think the world is going to fundamentally change. I really, really genuinely do. I have to say, most of my predictions have been pretty much on the money, right? Because I have a bizarre prediction model. I'm a Bible thumper. I believe in God, right? And I think, what we're seeing in the world right now kind of looks like all these predictions for the end of days. Like this confusion in the world. It's kind of beat by beat going on. So I was somewhat surprised to enter this time, right? But now I've done a bit of a deep dive into what these predictions actually meant. Boy, it's very, very, very similar to what we're actually experiencing. I'm not trying to convince you to believe what I think, right? I'm just saying, I personally think the world's going to fundamentally change over the next year, and a lot of things that are that we all know are crazy, right? Like in 1984. 1984 said the party will have you lie, and you know it's a lie, right? You absolutely know it's a lie, but you say it anyway because that's what you're ordered to do. I think that's the state that we're in right now. And I think that's going to very suddenly and very shockingly come to end before November, before 23. So let's wait and see. Again, hopefully I'm right, but if I'm wrong, God help us. Will there be a world left? I don't know. But if there is a world left, I'm looking forward to this. Beep the bloody Meep. Oh my God, how awesome does this sound, right? Now, if you don't know Beep the Meep, Beep the Meep is a very, very, very silly comic book character from the excellent Doctor Who comics from the 70s and the 80s. This is drawn by Dave Gibbons. And it's just an indication of how freaking crazy this new Doctor Who's going to be, right? I think it's going to be just glorious, right? I think it's just going to be a glorious time celebration of everything that is Doctor Who. So what I really like about this Beep the Meep story is, yeah, I know Rusty Davis likes Doctor Who magazine. I know he's always read Doctor Who magazine. And I think that we're heading into a weird multiversal thing. Seems to be pretty sure, because it seems to be they're pulling out all the stuff. We got Beep the Meep. Maybe we're going to get Absalom Dak or Shade. There's a whole bunch of great continuity. I never enjoyed the Titan comics though. The Titan Doctor Who comic. Yeah, it's I'm going to do after I finish recording this. I'm doing a review of Doctor Who Origins, the Doctor Ruth comic. Freaking awful. It's just absolutely awful. But I never I always found the storytelling of them being neither here nor there. Like British Doctor Who comics has it's not Doctor Who and it's not comics. It's its own little weird realm, right? Its own little weird realm of whimsy. Which I think, I think I loved it being black and white as well. Like things like Dave Gibbons, John Ridgway, really, really nailed that whimsy, right? That absolute whimsy, and having that whimsy like be codified as part of Doctor Who, really fantastic. So let's read the story from downthetubes.net again. As I said, edited by John Friedman, a friend of Doctor Who, I would say. Blurry photos taken from the 60th anniversary Doctor Who story. Locations at 60th anniversary. Location story of what appears to be a cuddly but deadly comics alien, Beep the Meep, and the Wraith Warriors. No, that says I think it's better. It said Wrath Warriors. I think it's Wraith Warriors from the Starbeast. One of the earliest Doctor Who comic strips have dropped online this week, and you can get an audio version of that by Big Finish, which is very good. I really like it. Again, you get that. The reason they did comic book adaptations because they're bonkers. They're so silly and they're so much fun and they're so different. I really like that. I mean, do you remember if you're the same age as me, when Star Wars first came out, right? You had the Star Wars comic and it adapted the story. I think who's it? Howard Chaykin did the arc on that very early Howard Chaykin. But basically, after 4 or 5 issues there, that they've run out of Star Wars, right? They had to make up a whole new Star Wars. For 3 years until Empire Strikes Back came out, and so you had a different Jabba the Hutt, and it was like this whole different little universe. It was funky, it was different, it was fun, right? Which is what this strikes me as being funky and different and fun, right? So one of the most popular comic strip villains of all time, Beep the Meep, was the creation of Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons. I bet Pat Mills is dancing. Oh, Pat Mills been waiting to be paid for the use of any of his properties forever. Yeah, I'm always amazed that there's never been a cinematic universe sort of thing for 2000 AD, right? 2000 AD has so much properties. And when I say cinematic universe, I don't think they need to even be in a shared universe, much like 2000 AD. You know the Marvel movies, you get that big Marvel fanfare, and it's like I'm not really interested. Now it's like a death knell when I hear that come on, right? But it used to be, oh yeah, well you could do something similar like that, have like a Motorhead like have a real punk feeling to it, and then movies in the 2000 AD universe would all have that kind of grunge punk feel to it. So I always thought Slain, right? Or Slaney, how you pronounce it. Man, that would be a great movie, right? That's like, I can't understand how that hasn't been adapted into a movie. And start at the beginning. I like the early Slain, the pre-Glenn Fabry, the pre-Simon Bisley. Way back to, Mike Mahon, right? Adapt those stories. It'd be fantastic, right? Be absolutely fantastic. Which I think this is going to be as well. Anyway, so yeah. Reprinted in the so in issues Doctor Who Weekly issues 19 to 26, reprinted in the Iron Legion collection. Although Pat Mills and John Wagner are jointly credited as writers, they are in fact alternate scripts. Yeah, I think I think one did Starbeast and the other one did the Iron Legion, right? I think that's how it worked. Beep the Meep predated Gremlins as a furry bundle of fun with a heart of pure evil infuses down the tube's contributor Tim Robbins. Okay, Tim, I trust you in this. By far the most successful strip to channel the dark humor of 2000 AD, Starfeast really sold the comic book. Honestly, for me, the greatest Doctor Who comic was Polly the Glot. I love Polly the Glot. Polly the Glot and that whole sequence. So John Ridgway did the art, and it was just beautiful, right? It was like there's this beautiful space creature that needed to be freed, and it was lovely. And then it led into this whole weird cycle with this great villain, was it Astropolis or something like that, versus the Sixth Doctor. Fantastic sequence of comics, right? Well, look over this. You can see the picture. It's I mean, it's not an exact reproduction, but you get the real Dave Gibbons design feel of it, right? It really feels like a Dave Gibbons late 70s, early 80s design, right? And you look, for somebody who's a comic nut like me, this is just cool, right? Need to say, speculation about his appearance, including on YouTube and Twitter. That'll be right here. He's talking about us right now, okay? Right here. A blurry picture of the alleged Beep, for example, is pretty rampant. But of course, there are those. Now I lost the place. Of course, there are hoping for that it might lead into more comic strip characters transferring the screen. Frobisher the Penguin, companion Sixth Doctor in the Doctor Who magazine in particular. Everybody wants Frobisher, right? Frobisher also, again, if you never heard of Frobisher, he's a shape changer that took the form of a penguin. If you want to hear him perform, then Robert Jesup played him in two very, very good Big Finish releases, both written by, what's his name? He was a real writer. He did Dalek. Whatever. Again, it's gone. Forget it. But now I'm lost trying to remember that guy's name. Oh, I know I could go out the room. There's a book around there, around the corner called Running Down Corridors or something like that, which he co-wrote. Robert Sherman. Oh my God, that was so much better. So Rob Sherman penned two Sixth Doctor Frobisher stories, both excellent, really dark, right? Holy Terror. Really, really dark. As is his other story, which is not got Beep the Meep in it. The Dalek one, Jubilee, excellent. Let's not forget. Okay, let's not forget that Absalom Dark, Dalek Killer, created by Steve Moore and Steve Dillon, made a tongue-in-cheek on-screen cameo in the season 8 story Time Heist. Yeah, it was wonderful. But why couldn't they have just done a cosplay version? That would be so much better. If this is not some monumental wind-up on the producers, Rusty Davis, a long-time fan of Doctor Who magazine, listen, I like a wind-up as much as anybody else, right? I like to take the piss as much as anybody else. This is a lot of work. I mean, look, they made the costume and they're filming it. Long-time fan of magazine. It's great to hear that other comic characters will be appearing on TV screens, although whether or not this may prove some weird dream sequence or alternate reality, I think that's what it is, remains to be seen. Given speculation and plenty about the 60th anniversary story. However, this wonderful tidbit turned out it won't hurt sales of the Iron Legion collection, and the audio producers Big Finish were quick to mark the response, promoting a chance to listen to the Sixth Doctor ratings war featuring Beat for free. With Toby Longworth doing the voice. There's somebody else do it in the other one. In the story, Beep is back and he's found a new channel for his aggression. A brand new series about to make television history. But can the Doctor prevent his furry foe from turning a docudrama into a crisis, or will the fluffy wuffy animal get it in the neck? First shots of the rating war have been fired, and the next ones may be at your head, right? And that's the Iron Legion. Fine, let's have a look at some of the pictures we see. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty much like it, doesn't it? I mean, I would be saying here's a picture of Beep the Meep, right? That's from a GIF. You can actually see him standing up. So yeah, listen, I mean, what can I say? That compared to. Let's compare the pictures. It's a fuzzy picture, be sure, right? There you go. So we got that compared to this. I think it's the same, right? We get like cool explosions and stuff going on, Boar of the Wraith Warriors. I don't think it's exciting, right? I don't think it's genuinely exciting, and I think it shows you the type of bonkersness that we're going to be getting, from this new era. Which, if I haven't mentioned, I'm very much on board for. Very, very, very much on board for. And they are filming the new era right now. Let's have a look over here. First look, Doctor Who first look, David Tennant and Catherine Tate are spotted on set with Yasmin Finney. So, This is not part of this video, but while I was looking up articles, I found this article, and I think this is either going to be on my live stream on Sunday, or it's just going to be a video in of itself. It made me feel like there's hope for the future. What Doctor Who means to the LBGTQ plus fans. So the title of this video will be, is Doctor Who only for the LBGTQ plus, right? Or is it for everybody, right? I'm hoping everybody. Anyway, some people were upset about Yasmin Finney's casting. Again, I mean, listen, if I'm wrong, you know I don't mind saying I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I don't mind saying I'm wrong. I think the insanity that we're living in right now, where people can self-define their physical reality against their physical reality, right? You know, if somebody can, you know, you're not allowed to do it in species, sort of. No, you are, right? In schools in a bunch of places in America, you can identify as a furry. And so if you want to just meow or go, I think like that, the teachers aren't allowed to stop you. Aren't allowed to, if you don't want to answer questions, you go meow, meow. You can just sit in the hallway and scratch, you know. This is insane, right? This is completely insane that one's able to define their physical reality against their physical reality. So I just think it's going to go away. But that being said, so what? Who cares that Yasmin Finn is been cast? I don't. Yeah, here's the thing. I think the battle to normalize women with penises is over. Right? It's 100% over. You know what? If you're not, you know, if somebody winning international women's sporting events, clearly with a large penis, right? I mean, the battle's over, right? And it's normalized. It's already happened. So I think. I'm going, no, don't normalize. It's happened. So now normalization is over. Now we're into what's the word they use? Erasure, right? Do we want? They call it gay erasure. Is it a problem seeing gay people on screen? Or actually, here's the bait and switch they do. Nobody has a problem with you being gay. Everyone's like, yeah, I like to sleep with other men. That means you're gay. I like to sleep with other women. If you're a man, that means you're gay. Okay, lovely. I like to sleep with men and women. Well, you're a bit dirty, but you get around a bit. That's fine. We're all cool. You know, I can have babies, and I'm a man. Okay. Look, that's what you say. I mean, like, whatever. Like, live and let live, baby. But my point is this: even though it's a bit strange that this character in Doctor Who is being played is a character which is a girl with a penis being played by an actor who is a girl with a penis. I'm not going to say anything else. They're definitely a girl with a penis. Seems like a lovely person. Genuinely seems like a good actor as well. I don't think it's that big a deal if we've got Beep the Meep as well, quite frankly. You know, listen, if it's all about being queer, and that's not being gay, being queer, like LGBTQ+, I don't think it's Doctor Who anymore, right? I don't think it's Doctor Who anymore. And I think Rusty Davies wants it to be Doctor Who. But again, listen, I could be wrong about everything. I keep saying that, right? I could be wrong about everything. Been right about a lot so far. But, you know, doesn't mean anything. Right, film dramatic explosive scenes in Cardiff after confirming their return for the 60th. So David Tennant and Catherine Tate were spotted on the set of Doctor Who in Cardiff on Wednesday after BBC announced they were reviving their roles. Well, they may be playing different roles. I mean, I do think there's going to be an alternate Doctor and Donna. Scottish actor David, 51, looking good for 51, blimey. First episode started 2005 to play the 10th Doctor, the 10th Time Lord, with his final episode airing on New Year's Day in 2010 with comedic actress Catherine Tate, 52. Also looks pretty good. I've always said, of all the new series companions, by far the most shaggable. If that term offends you, I apologise. Catherine Tate. I mean, by far, right? By far. Look, we had Bill Potts, not unattractive, but just super gay, right? I don't know if she's gay in real life, but she may convince me that she's gay, which just kind of turned off, right, her as a possibility. Clara was just a bit too smug, right? Just a bit too smug. Amy, okay. The Catherine Jane, absolutely gorgeous. One of the most beautiful women in the world. Doesn't turn me on. Weird but true. Doesn't turn me on. But I really like her, right? I really like her. I really wish they'll put her as a lead of Pirates of the Caribbean, right? I think that will be that will be a much better casting than what's her name? Harley Quinn, whatever her name is. Margot Robbie? Yeah, much better cast than that. So, yeah, but okay, so far, Catherine Tate, still the most shaggable in my mind. Then going back, also, what's her name? Martha. Freeman Angerman, insanely beautiful, right? Just like stunningly beautiful. Doesn't turn me on. I would say the same thing about Rose. Weird yet true. In fact, I don't know. You're gonna have to go back. Look, when you hit Perry, everything's okay, baby. It's all when you hit Perry. It's always fun to hit Perry. I mean, not physically. I don't. Here's the thing. This is a crazy age. I have to now say I'm not talking about beating up a woman. That would be. Why would I want to do that? Whatever. Anyway. So reunited alongside Yasmin Finney to film a dramatic scenes, which includes the explosion and soldiers, and with lots of unit logos, right? There's David in his new blue jacket. Here we go. David looked in high spirits as bundled up in blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Catherine stood out in a pink and red striped top, black leggings. Yasmin making a debut playing Rose. I think playing Rose is going to be an important part of this. Of the plot. That's the word I'm looking for. Can't believe I couldn't remember the word plot. I bet that happens to Chris Chibnall all the time. Making a debut as Rose, looked sensational in a floral mini skirt and blue denim jacket. I mean, look. Yes and no. I mean, sensational. Again, I'm a Bible thumper. Don't hold that against me, right? I don't think any harm should come to anyone. I don't think anybody should take up arms in the name of God and beat people up or hurt anybody. That's wrong, okay? Like, if you believe in God, God says don't do that, right? I just look at this person, Yasmin here, and again, lovely person. I think they're a good actor, right? I got nothing against, or actress, whatever. I think they are somebody in real distress, right? I think they're somebody in real, genuine, psychological and spiritual distress, right? There's a reason, like throughout time, gender's been somewhat binary, and I don't think it's been the white male patriarchy, given that, this weird binary nature of gender has gone across every freaking society on the face of the earth, not just those evil white men, right? And I don't know. In fact, probably it probably got the most play here amongst those evil white men. Having said that, again, trans people are part of the world, right? Okay, if it's that's what it is. That's what it is, right? But again, I am intrigued. I'm intrigued with the whole thing. I do think, really, genuinely, I think we're all going to wake up at some point and go, nah. I mean, I think we're getting there. What with the world falling apart, gas prices, energy prices, literally everything's falling apart, right? But at some point we're going to go, yeah, not so much. And again, live and let live, baby. That's how you want to live. That is groovy. I have nothing against you. There we go. So, David and Catherine have reunited the film scenes that are due to air next year to coincide with 60th anniversary celebration of the popular TV series. We have no idea what form it's going to take. Like, no idea whatsoever. Doctor Who's returning showrunner said of the return on Sunday, they're back and it's impossible. Okay, we heard all this before. Maybe it's a missing story, a parallel world, a dream, a trick, or a flashback. We don't know what it is. Do they have any pictures of the unit? Oh, you can just see the unit logo. I mean, you can't, but I can. On the side of this truck, right? Just see it. Great explosions. Look, I'm looking forward to, like, when I look at this, I go, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a real fun time we're going to have, right? I really genuinely do. And I don't think the inclusion of a trans person, for me anyway, just doesn't detract from that at all, right? It really genuinely doesn't. Okay, so then just Judy gut. Oh, okay. I have to make a retraction here. You know, I say when I say I'm wrong, when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. So the outfit shooters wearing over here is what we saw in Doctor Who magazine, and I said, look, it's not so gay. Why is everybody freaking out? I've seen gayer things than that on a Wednesday in Clapham. What? It's not so bloody gay. This is the first time I've seen him standing up. And it looks a lot gayer now. It looks a whole lot gayer. Still, so much better than Jodie Whittaker. I mean, look, here. We have Jodie Whittaker. And if you love Jodie Whittaker, God bless you, baby. Vive la différence, right? You love Jodie Whittaker, that's great. But she's acting her heart out there and just completely not convincing me she's a doctor. While Shooty isn't even trying. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I want to see that Doctor Who. That guy's the Doctor, right? It's incredible, right? There's a charisma coming out of him, a screen presence coming out of him, and there's like a black hole of interest coming out of Jodie, right? So the question is, how on earth is Jodie going to turn into David Tennant, right? Is it just going to be a straight regeneration? What? And he's like, oh, Barcelona, whatever, right? Is this going to be a straight regeneration back into Tennant, and then they got to find out why, or something else? Now, here's my theory, right? That they're leaning heavily into multiverse with Chibnall's final episode. Oh, God. I mean, here's the worst thing about the episode. It's an hour and a half long, right? I mean, it's like, oh, God, I got to wait through an hour and a half of Chibnall, Whittaker, and Mandip Gill being as awful can be, right? Before I can say this era is finally over. But anyway, she regenerates outside the TARDIS. Hey, Keith, love you, yes! Right? My guess is this, right? That it'll do a hard cut, boom, and then you'll be Tennant inside a TARDIS. Maybe his TARDIS, maybe a different one, not Whittaker's one. Waking up and go, what? I don't think there's going to be much connection. Now, if there is a connection, here's what I think will happen there, right? If she does regenerate into Tennant, then I think when whatever the episode is where he takes out where it's his episode, he's just going to fall out of a different TARDIS, like with a different interior, and we won't see it. So yeah, it will be possible for everybody in everyone's headcanon to either include Jodie or erase Jodie, and I really think that's where we're going with this new era, right? I think he wants to bring everybody in, right? I really think he wants to bring everybody in. I don't think Russell's kind of the mind here that Doctor Who is only for the LGBTQ+, right? So, but how is he going to, how are they going to do this changeover? Q, one of the most bonkers articles I've ever read in my life. Classic Doctor Who story supports the best regeneration theory, best Whittaker regeneration theory. Despite the 10th Doctor's vanity regenerating or degenerating into old faces has been possible since a Doctor Who story in the 70s. Now, what's this story, you're asking yourself? Like, what bollocks is it talking about? The best story of how David Tennant could succeed Jodie Whittaker as a Doctor is reminiscent to a classic Doctor Who story from Tom Baker's time on the show. Jodie Whittaker is due to blah 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 blah, shooting Gatwa, blah blah blah. David Tennant spotted filming 6 years, blah blah blah, replacing Whittaker. The 10th Doctor vanity was ridiculed by the 11th Doctor in Time of the Doctor, revealed that he squandered a regeneration, keeping the same face as 4 in episode 13 of Journey's End. However, the precedent for a Doctor regenerating or degenerating into old faces was set back in the 70s. When? Right? It's the stupidest answer. During 1979, just over halfway through Tom Baker's tenure as the Doctor, Doctor Who Weekly was a magazine aimed at kids, featuring posters, articles, and really, you have to tell us what Doctor Who Weekly was. I mean, is this for the harder thinking? Okay. It was introduced numerous plot ideas that Doctor Who would rescue in the 21st century incarnation. Under editor Des Skin, Doctor Who Weekly told stories of Croton Croton the Cybermen, The Cyberman with the Soul, and Pirates Fighting Sea Devils. The two-part comic strip story Time Slip, printed in issues 17 and 18, and also in the Titans of Time reprint, right? Doctor Who Weekly. It also introduced the concept of retro regenerations decades before the potential for Jodie Whittaker regenerating into David Tennant. Do they even have a picture of it? That's a bit. I'm like, for God's sake, really? That's your source? I mean, I understand. We're all giddy with excitement because Beep the Meep looks like it's going to be in the TV show, which means the crossover from comics to Doctor Who is very small, right? Very, very small. You know, like Chris Chibnall's talent, very, very small. In Time Slip, the Fourth Doctor and K9 encounter an entity that, like the Weeping Angels, feeds on time itself. Over the course of their encounter with the being, time begins to move backwards, reducing K9 to its component parts. The Fourth Doctor is retro-regenerated through the third, second incarnations until he settles on the first. Well, wait, the first? Didn't you tell me there was a gazillion billion before it? Oh, no, let's forget about that. In an attempt to avoid a similar fate to K9, the Doctor repeatedly turns the TARDIS power off and on again, essentially giving the temporal indigestion and returning everybody to their present forms. Time Slip was notable for being a rare multi-Doctor story before 83's Five Doctors turned it into an anniversary tradition. It's an original take on the concept. This is so dumb, right? This is just so freaking dumb. It kind of like hurts me how dumb it is. So Doctor Who's 60th anniversary 2020, Russell gave a freshen up television multi-Doctor stories by adapting niche comic strips for mainstream audience. Where was this put out? Okay, so this was after Beep the Meep. I mean, honestly, you should have referenced Beep the Meep in this, shouldn't you? No? I guess not. Anyway. Yes, this is a very, very dumb take. Now we're going to get a lot more very dumb takes, okay? For a lot more dumb takes, we first start with Christopher Eccleston. Now, Christopher, mate, I love your work, right? I think you're a very, very good actor. I like your Doctor Who. I bought everything you've done, right? So, I like your Big Finish stuff. I generally speaking, think you're a good and moral person. I also think you're a bit of a prat. So here's the thing. When you got like a 90-year-old woman and you think she's the essence of all evil because she sits on a chair wearing a hat, it's not good, right? It's not good. I mean, this is not like I don't see the comment here is parasite in chief and an idiot hat. That idiot hat's quite expensive, right? So I understand it's the Queen's Jubilee this week. If you don't like that, you go. Rah. But honestly, mate, I mean, just like from a objective point of view, right? The Queen and the royal family, amazingly, right? But the Queen specifically has done so much for the morale of the British people, right? And I think she's beloved by the British people more than hated, right? More than absolutely hated. Of all the things they waste money on, I don't know what they do in England. Do you have like the children's drag hour, all that kind of weird stuff? Of all the stuff they waste money on, royal family doesn't seem to be the worst thing in the world to do. But anyway, don't be angry. Don't be so freaking angry at somebody who really hasn't done anything so terrible. But Eccleston, bit of a sad, angry chap is Christopher Eccleston. So let's look at this story here. We're seen through the lens of Harvey Weinstein. Former Doctor Who star Christopher Eccleston says white middle-class male and straight actors are the new pariahs in the industry. Only within the industry, because you're all racist idiots, right? We're all racist, sexist, raping idiots. You're all Harvey Weinsteins, right? And because you don't want to take accountability, then you browbeat people of like good conscience, which is what I think Christopher Eccleston is. You browbeat and say, no, it's ill men, especially white, straight men. No, it's you. Okay, it's you godless, miserable fucks. Okay, I'm sorry that live in Hollywood. And the reason I say godless is like this, right? Again, I don't want to force you to have any outlook that you don't have or believe anything you don't believe. What we have lost with our shared religious values is a sense of shared morality, right? Why not coerce a young woman or a young man into sexual favors in return for giving them something that they very much want, this career? But why not? Is there no right? If there's no objective right and wrong, what's the matter? I look on a you can really boil this question down when you talk about was it abortion, right? It is look. Firstly, I just always want to say, when a baby is growing inside its mother, I consider that, while it is an independent body, right, I consider that part of the mother's body. If something is plumbed into another human being, and that human being is dominant, yes, that is the woman's body, right? 100%. And again, I think it's the somebody has the right to choose to do whatever they want within reason to their own body, right? However, the thing inside your body probably is alive, and having abortion probably kills it. So, but when you really boil the issue down, right? Yeah, the reason why people who don't believe in religion at all, or people who are anti-religion, which I think Christopher Eccleston probably is, because most socialists are, right? Most socialists hate religion and really hate Jews, right? And it's a weird combination, but they really hate Jews, right? But then you can't say that life has any intrinsic sanctity, right? Well, you can abort right up until birth. In fact, you can if a baby survives an abortion, you're supposed to like keep it alive, right? They don't do that. They find, again, the socialist side of the world finds that deeply immoral. Why, right? Why is it okay to kill a newborn baby, right? Which is literally what they do. Why is that okay? If you say that life has no intrinsic sanctity, right, then the only problem with killing people is a sociological one, right? And so while a baby, if the mother doesn't want it and hasn't developed any familial roots, connection to anyone, why not, right? Why not? This is the cornerstone of our shared morality, which we have lost, right? I think we've thrown out the baby with the bathwater. Now, don't get me wrong. There was, when we had this shared religious outlook, right? A Judeo-Christian outlook, a lot of bad things were done in the name of that. I think the way gay people were treated during AIDS was abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And a sin, right? If I want to quote Rusty Davis' drama, it's a sin. Yes, not having compassion for people is a sin, right? But one of the truest things I ever heard was one of Capaldi's last lines, said, "Always try and be good, but never fail to be kind," right? That's really my understanding of religion, right? Of applying religious values. But again, here's the thing: you don't have any shared morality. We don't have it in Hollywood. So why not coerce people into sexual favors? It's not like sex has any intrinsic sanctity as well, right? But if it does, it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing. But the point is this: most people do, even if you're not religious, do have that basic morality driven into you. That, like, you shouldn't rape people, but even if they say yes, you shouldn't force somebody to have sex with you, even if they say yes, right? That's not a good thing to do at all. That's what we call a bad thing, right? A bad thing. So, they convinced Paul Christopher Eccleston here that he's a bad person, right? He's bad because of his skin color, because of his gender, because of his sexual orientation. This seems a major backward step for me. So quickly, Christopher Eccleston opens up about his the uncertainty he's facing in his career. Oh, well, yeah. Listen, white men are out of vogue. Former Doctor Who star said he is seen through the lens of Harvey Weinstein. Why? What did you ever do? You should be responsible for yourself, right? You should be responsible for yourself. That's why, like, I don't understand this, like, national thing in America of blaming white people for slavery. Like, what? Nobody was on board. Virtually nobody alive anymore was on board for slavery, and basically nobody alive has any idea what slavery actually was. Like, it wasn't like just aimed at black people, you blithering morons. That, like you go before 1700. basically 90% of the world is in the same position. He said, white middle-class men and straight actors are like the new pariahs. Well, I'm sure you're feeling it, right? Your community is a racist, bigoted one against you, right? And it doesn't matter what you do or say, it's going to remain racist and bigoted against you. But as I said, I'm really hoping the world is going to fundamentally change, okay? So let's read this. Chris Eccleston said actors like him who are white, middle-class, male, and straight are the new... We said there were 58 stars who famously played Doctor Who. Open about uncertainty he's facing in his career because acting opportunities are shrinking. Yeah, exactly. But, and it's shrinking because of racism. Because people don't like your skin color. And it's not like you're being replaced by black actors. No. Black actors have plenty of roles now, but they're all awful. Like, are you watching Obi-Wan Kenobi? How do you know if somebody is a diversity hire? If a character is there for their skin color and gender? If that's all the character is. If you've seen Obi-Wan Kenobi, they've got a character on it called Reva, who has no character whatsoever, right? She's just angry, snarling, and best as ever. That's the entirety of her character. So yes, absolutely. She's just there to be a color, a skin color, and a gender. Nothing else. Anybody who's not there just to be a skin color and gender was actually filled out to be a character. But you don't need to. Eccleston says he feels like a dinosaur because of his age, sex, skin color, see-through eyes, Harvey Weinstein. Listen, mate, I feel more connected to Harvey Weinstein than you. He was Jewish. Well, bloody embarrassing was it for me? He told, quite rightly, I'm a dinosaur now. I'm white, I'm middle-aged, I'm male, I'm straight. Why? Why can't we all just live together? Why can't we all be equal? No. Oh, we've had our time. Oh, icky thump. We're all seeing through the lens of Harvey Weinstein. And well, again, here's the problem. It would be much better if you all hadn't been sucking his dick non-stop and saying he's the most moral, stunning, and brave person ever, and knowing full well that he was a mass rapist, right? That would have been, we actually could have got away with. But then you stand up at every bloody award ceremony and goes, "You're immoral, you evil white man." No, fuck off! It was you, not me. I've lived off the fat of the land for 30 years of my career, but I still have to pay my mortgage. I still have to support my kids, so I don't welcome all the uncertainty at all. The unpredictability was far more welcome to a younger person. They don't give a shit about you, mate. Okay. It comes as Rwandan Scott actor Nsuti Gatwa, 29, was announced as the 14th Doctor. Eccleston also said he feels like a failure because he didn't make the most of his chances as an actor. Really? Wow. Again, you've driven a man to mental illness. This is really awful. Speaking at BBC 5 Live, he said, I feel like a failure. That's how I feel. I was thinking about it only yesterday. I mean, man, you shouldn't have to feel this way, right? You shouldn't have to feel that way. In the 90s, two incredible film roles. Jude with the Jude in Jude the Obscure and Derek Bentley and Let Him Have It. Now Daniel Day-Lewis, Gary Oldman have similar roles, and a few years before Prick Up Your Ears, still announcing My Beautiful Laundrette. And they all just went bang. Well, listen, mate. You're too busy being like, up the workers, rather than doing some work, I think. Those are my chances, and I really hit and have far more influence and far more control over the stuff that I did. The award-winning actor is playing Mr. Devlin in BBC Two's My Name is Leon, based on the novel by Kit DeWall and set during the race riots of the 1980s. What race riots of the 1980s? Race riots of the 1980s? What race riots of the 1980s? I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm going to check that out. I lived through the race riots. I saw the devastation to working class communities and subsequent impact on race relations, domestic abuse, etc. Look, I'm not saying it was. I don't really remember many race riots. Race riots? Look, here's the thing. I lived in the 80s, right? My social circle was many different skin colors and nobody gave a shit, right? I don't remember ever being a race riot, right? And listen, I went to a Jewish school, JFS. And there was like, the non-Jewish school that would like to come and beat up the Jews. Yeah, and they had a rumble every now and again. But I think that's just like, rivalry. It's just the way it is. Etc. So that swears of men and women being unemployed and state-educated system being destroyed caused. I have to watch this thing, but listen, mate. Given everything else you said so far has been delusional bollocks, and I feel for you, right? I genuinely feel for you. But given everything you said thus far has been delusional bollocks, I don't know with the severity with which to treat your allegations, right? I really don't know. But here's what I would say, right? Here's what I would say. Cheer up, mate. It's not so bad. The world's nice. Smell the flowers. Not everything's bad. Don't be mad at the Queen. And her hat's quite nice. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.